Alrighty, let's do this. We thought the last draft was big for us. This could be huge. Retired players to kick us off as Corey Perry, Milan Lucic. Again, the whole enforcer debate over Lucic from a bit ago or whatever after the IHF tournament. Guy's not a fucking enforcer. Like, unless people are trying to argue that there's like, oh, there's a power forward, enforcer, goon. Like, Anyway. It'd be like saying Wayne Simmons was an enforcer. No. No. Defensively, Mark Giordano's gone. Jack Johnson. I mean, like, Lucic plays a tough role, but it's like everyone who throws a body check is an enforcer. It's basically what people are arguing. So, Wheels, I feel the same way about the song, to be honest. His original song was pretty good, too. Brian Simmons was nasty, but silky. I mean, that's the same way Luch was. I mean, you could argue, like, oh, Lucic only had, like, 1 30-goal season, but it's like, yeah, look who he was playing with, though. Was Peter Forsberg an enforcer? Well, in fairness, Peter Forsberg had more skill than Milan Lucic ever did, but, you know. Yeah, I was going to say, if Milan Lucic is an enforcer, the broski, you're right. Jordan Binnington, he's a fucking enforcer, too. If we're playing that game, Jordan Binnington's definitely an enforcer. So here we go. We have the first overall pick. Neither of the two behind us want to trade. So, we know we're not going to be able to get every top-notch prospect. It is either Ville Varakis or Petri Pettinen. Outside of those two, Aaron Kiviharju is in this draft. Viti Väisänen is in this draft. Emil Hemming is in this draft. And again, it is only Finnish players. Rupe Vestarinen rounds out the first round. So the top two, Ville Varakis, straight A's, including an A in defense. Bobby Hull comparison, hopefully minus the racism. Off the rush as a gold isn't great. Schneip is good. Skilled up is not. Pesci's better than Muzzin. I mean, sure. But that's not what I said, if you're going to continue a dumb argument from Twitter. Then there is Pettinen on the other wing. Also straight A's, no weaknesses. Patrick Kane comparison, hopefully minus the immaturity. Ooh, tape to tape. Tape to tape, stick them up, edges, ice pack. This could be the guy playing next to Sebastian Aho for the next 15 years. Shit. At least the next 10. He is a two-way playmaker, yeah. And then there's Ville Varakis. Fuck. Okay, now really quickly, the other guys that are here. Viti Väisänen as a left D. We don't know enough about him. I'm pretty sure I made him good, but I don't know how good I made him. So we got to rule him out. He's too risky. Obviously for 2 or 3. The other question is, are there teams in the teens that want to trade? And there are. So we could try to get 2 first-round picks this year. There is Rupe Vestarinen, also on HPK. Unconfirmed year out. Unconfirmed yoink. Then there's Emil Hemming, who we did use a little bit with the Leafs. A lot of his stuff is unconfirmed. And then there's Kiviharju, who we know is good. Who we know is good. So Kivi at 12. Islanders would trade at 12. If Kivi's still on the board at 12, we might make a move. But do we have the value to pull it off? Man, look at Ville Heinola. Turned into our most valuable player. That's crazy. Kokoniemi's value is up there. And now obviously you get into the debate of, are there certain players that we flip to move up? Do we move a first rounder next year to move up this year? Do we think we're going to be bad next year? We do have this medium elite goalie as well. That goalie is the key to us moving up. That goalie is the key. I think at 12 we'll be able to explore it. For now, I feel like giving up Halton or Lambert plus a medium elite goalie is worth it. I don't know if we'd even have to, though. Again, Calgary's at 6. There is no denying, though, we have to take one of these two. And it does feel like Petri Pettinen is the guy to take. Yeah, we don't have anyone else to worry about aside from Kivihario at 12. Again, Ville Varakis, their attributes are the same. But this guy has off the rush and skilled up, which are wasteful compared to these abilities for Petri. Now, I know Vegas doesn't want to trade the pick. But you would presume that Vegas would take Nesterov or Varakis. This is a bit of a risk, technically. But Vegas, is there any way you want to trade up to this top pick and give me anything else? I don't think they have Finns for me to take. But even if I can only recoup like mid-round picks next year... Is there any way to pull this off? I mean, I have a feeling the thirds are going to be too much. They are. But even if it's lower round picks to move up to 1. What if we get rid of the 4th? What if we get rid of the 5th? Okay, we're just going to make the pick. At 6th and the 7th isn't worth potentially missing out on this guy. First overall, we are going to go for the left wing from Skellefteå. Pet squared? Pet smart? Petri Pettinen. We'll figure it out. This guy looks insane. Legitimately, he's almost like an Aho clone on the wing. He's the pick. 80 overall, medium elite. Has tape to tape, stick him up, ice pack and edges. So yeah, he is that two-way playmaking forward. Incredibly well-rounded, who will be right next to Sebastian Aho next season. Now, we do have no chance to trade up from here until about the 12th pick. Varakis goes second and is an 82. Does have a damn good shot. But again, his gold is off the rush, which, but he has silver 1T that we didn't know about. We knew about silver Schneip. We didn't know about silver 1T. So that is the question. How well will he sim? Sid, you handsome devil. It's been far too long. How the heck are you, my friend? I hope you're good. I hope you're well. The question is, did we make the wrong choice? Obviously, Varakis is higher rated. But Pettinen having that gold tape to tape versus a gold off the rush, I feel like we did pretty well. Yeah, Varakis has the advantage in overall based off of a tremendous shot. How much the gold X Factor matter when simming? I mean, if you have someone with a gold X Factor that has freaking bounce back, it's not going to mean much. Those shooting ones are huge. But off the rush, I'm not sure how well it's going to sim. I don't think we could have gone wrong either way. Chicago gets the guy that they would have taken first overall anyway at 3. At 4 is Berkeley Catton. Sharks at 5 after adding Connor Bedard, add Macklin. Hellenis is off the board. Now, technically, This was my fuck up, and I still forgot to change this. Consta Hellenis should have been available to us. He is Finnish. I think I accidentally forgot to change his nationality on the creator roster, or create a player. Yeah, so he shows up as Canadian, even though he's Finnish. That is my mistake. We were not going to take him above who we took, though. You know, that just wasn't going to happen. So, like, yes, he does have the gold wheels and everything. Honestly, he's very well-rounded. I still don't think we would have taken him over Pettinen. So, but also, nobody here wanted to trade. Nobody here wanted to trade, so I wouldn't have been able to trade up and get him anyway. That wasn't going to happen. Buffalo at 8, take Yzerman. So we got 3 picks to go before we potentially trade up. Zetterberg to Carolina. Arizona at 10, take Sam Dickinson. Vancouver at 11, take Vesinen, who was a medium elite, 66 with born leader, because we didn't really know what ability to give him. He just deserved to get one. So we are definitely going to look to pull off a trade with the Islanders for that 12th overall pick to land Aaron Kiviharju. Well, not Aaron Kiviharju, but, you know. Sorry, I'm very focused on who to trade here. I mean, Pettinen is great value. Puistonen at a 79-25. He's already outdueled in terms of left wings. How close is this? I don't feel like it's that far off. Is there anybody else? Simon Tyval, technically. You could argue he'll never be ahead of Lambert and Haltonen, but either of those two could play wing. There is the debate over Kokaniemi, but I want to hold on to him for the moment. What if we give up our 4th rounder next year? How close are we? Quite far off. Shit. What about a 3rd rounder next year? What about a 3rd rounder this year as well? Bahalati Puistonen in 2/3. It's a decent amount to give up, but it's worth it. It's a decent amount to give up, but that will land us Aaron Kiviharju. Okay, it is Aaron. Oh, I think it was Aro Kiviharju for a second. I knew it was Aaron Kiviharju. Yeah, that's a hell of a deal for us. And again, there's Hemming, there's Vestarainen, there's a couple of other Finns. We can't land everybody, but we can land our future number 1 defenseman. And I mean, Jesus Christ, we're going to have this guy working with Ville Heinola as a 1-2 punch. Aaron Kiviharju is the pick. 68 overall, medium elite, with edges, magnetic, and puck on a string. That is a pretty damn good way to start off a draft. Again, we would have picked him over Vesinen. You know, we weren't able to land Hellenis at a 76, but we didn't have to. We went with Pettinen, and if it wasn't Pettinen, it was Varakis. And did we make the right choice with Varakis? I don't know. But it is tough to be disappointed landing 2 of the top 12 and 2 medium elite players in this draft. We have no shot of trading up for Emil Hemming, in my opinion. Yeah, that value is just not going to happen. Like, you're talking Kokaniemi, and I'd rather have Kokaniemi right now, to be honest. So now the question is, later in the draft, won't be Vestarainen, but later in the draft, who else is out there for us? Who else? And Sid, again, I will thank you for that raid. There's Markkanen, there's Vinny. We have Nieminen, who's not looking all that good. Petri Curry, who we know nothing about. Confirmed 3 years out. Vinny is at least a starter potential, yeah. Tero Hartikainen, 4 years out, unconfirmed ability. Jani Kilhoma. Unfortunately, what I'm seeing, Sami Lorakainen, I'm seeing a lot of risk. And we cannot... How the hell are so many of these guys unknowns? What the hell were our scouts doing? I get that some of them played in Sweden, but we have Swedish scouts. I don't know how we're going to do this. They definitely want us to avoid Koivisto. Our next pick is 102. How the hell? Vinny at 52. There's Lorakainen, who's way too big of a risk. Hartikainen. Vestarainen will go before we can do anything else. So will Hemming. Like, the guy to keep an eye on is Emil Vinny at 52. I don't think we can land really anybody else at this stage. Just to look through the rest of the draft, Tanner Howe to Columbus. Got Muse, Lashunov, Caswell. Wow, what a freaking pickup for Colorado. A generated player fell all the way to 17. And Philadelphia gets this guy at 20. Holy shit. Holy shit. So what happens when you get a lot of players in the draft that are half decent? Is he finished? That's what I'm checking, because it will not let me look. Played for Oscar Shine. He might be, but I didn't see him. So I don't think he is. At least he wasn't on our short list when we just went through everything. So shout out to Philadelphia. God damn. Yeah, like Vestarainen's a 70. I think he was Norwegian. That would make sense. That would make sense. They also got Miguel Marquez in the first round. Damn. So again, we are looking around pick 50. Was it 52 to be exact? Yeah. Obviously 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Anaheim. I don't know if we have the assets to pull this off. I feel like it would take a Teravainen, a Luotstarinen. And I don't feel like giving that up. Because I feel like we're always going to have, I mean, even if it's Capo Kakinen, we're always going to have some half-decent finish options in goal. It's arguably the strongest position. So I don't think I want to potentially overextend for Emil Vinny. The other argument, though, is Eric Halla. Because we already, you know what? I think if we can move Eric Halla, it's worth it. Because we do have, here, if we sort out the team this year, 2, 3, 4, obviously Lambert's in the spot, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right wing's a little bit weak, but trading Eric Halla wouldn't be disastrous based on his age. And we got a lot of other people that can play other positions. It was Anaheim at like 17, wasn't it? How did I forget already? Was it Anaheim at 17? Anaheim at 18? I can't math right now. It was Anaheim at 18. Thank you. I didn't realize they also had that other pick. Messed with my head. So yeah, Eric Halla we could definitely use for this. We would have to take back something. And honestly, I mean, we can't take back like Brett Leeson and then immediately cut him. I do want to safety net this. Okay, a third would be too much. What about a fifth? No, if it's going to be a fifth next year, it might as well be this year. All right, so it might not go through on its own. How about straight up? Yeah. Is there anybody they want to get rid of not named Mr. Leeson? They are trying to move on from Jones, but his value is too high. Adam Henrique. Just take on Adam Henrique and kind of... Actually, Urho Vakanainen's there. We could keep him for the AHL. So Eric Halla for Vakanainen and the 51st. Quite far off in value. Shit. Still, huh? it's still worth moving on from him. I'm going to add our 6th rounder. I didn't think a 6th rounder would be enough. All right, so we move Eric Halla, which I do feel like is a pretty good decision, to pick up, hopefully, the next great Finnish goaltender, and Emil Vinny, also from EFCO. He is a starter, but 18 years old, 62 overall. We at least have a project goalie in the system now, even if he's not a medium elite. He's a realistic shot to make the NHL and to be cheap. So we traded a 33-year-old winger for him. I feel like that's a pretty good trade-off. Holy shit, Pittsburgh. This year 2 draft is fucking nuts because of all the players I added in. The game doesn't know what to do with it. The game really doesn't know what to do with it. And we set generated players down to low, and it's still doing that. So in the SHL, we still have some Finns available. Below average draft, by the way. Yeah. So never trust those indicators, ever. All right, Liga. So there are still some Finnish players to take the risk on, but not a ton. Not a ton. To the point where trading up again really isn't worth it. We'll just let the dominoes fall where they may. So we have pick number 102, which is in the 4th round. Samu Koivisto's there, who we obviously won't be looking at. And if we take him out, there were these 3 towards the top of the board that were the most interesting. And obviously the goaltender, Mika Lahti, is the most interesting of the bunch. Unconfirmed light work, but we're going for another goalie. Why after season 5 are there never players getting out of the Allsvenskan? It's the way the game's set up, unfortunately. Same reason why they don't really come out of the rest of the world. So, Mika Lahti, 2nd goalie of this draft. Ooh. And that's why we didn't trade up. Unfortunately, a bit of a waste of a 4th rounder, but what are you going to do? Round number 5. We're going to take the risk for Topi Asplund, who is an overager, but so is Nornan. Asplund is a low elite. Okay. That's good trade value. He doesn't have any abilities, but all in all, not a bad way to end our draft. We did our damage at the top. We move on from Eric Halla to pick up Vinny. And of course, at the top of the draft, Pettinen taken 1st overall after we won the lottery. And Kivi Harju, a bit of a finesse move, utilizing that goaltender to be able to trade up. Done deal. And a really, really solid draft for us yet again. We've gotten this team into a good spot so quickly. Yeah, it was Jussi Vahalahti, Valtteri Puistinen, who was a free agent pickup, low elite. We got his value up a little bit this year from playing him in a good spot. And then we used 2 picks to get that pickup. Not bad. Emperor, what's going on? I'm feeling good about this. And we already got most of our business done. Like Sebastian Aho has been re-signed. We're in a very, very good spot here. $24 million in cap space. We don't have to re-sign any goaltenders, which is good. If there's no prospect, we'll sign Vinny for the AHL. And Emperor, yes it is. Olli Levy, we got to qualify again, which is fine. We'll wait for him to drop his price a little bit, or we could sign him to a big deal and hope he's still usable that whole way through. Might be worth it. We'll qualify Vakinainen for AHL purposes. I'm going to drop Vili Polka for the moment. The Polka. We'll drop Renanen, Tilola. All these guys will drop just to make sure we're prioritizing, even Nicholas Almari and Taylor Fredune, to make sure we're prioritizing our younger guys. We're going to play Kivi Harju in the AHL next year, for sure. And honestly, Olli Levy, you are an NHL caliber guy. Like, if you'll take that super cheap deal, I'll do it. Like, I'll do it. What would this be? 2.5? 2.5 over 8 years for a third pair guy. I don't hate it, and he should be tradable. If he takes it, I'm good with it, even though he gets hurt all the fucking time. I doubt he takes it because he doesn't want the extension, though. Urho Vakanainen wants a little bit more money than I prefer him getting. We're going to wait him out. Right wing side. Qualify Puljujärvi. He is just not taking off. Manalainen, Bjorkvist, Nurmi, to Lola. We can let go of those guys for now. Most of them will come back. Pettinen gets signed for sure. First overall pick. We'll qualify Heponiemi, Koivula. Anybody over 74. And then at center, we're good. We'll qualify Autosampi. Let go of the other options. Sign Asplund to play in the AHL. And now the big question is free agents that might be out there. Because we will have the money to splash the cash if need be. And the big question will be potential players. Obviously, Dahlin won't be available as a Swede. Still might not get the most help from free agency. But if there is anybody that lands out there, we'll have the money to go for him. Eli Tolvanen, honestly. I mean, he is an RFA, but we could even push to get him. Maselli might be an RFA. We could definitely push to get him. So there's a couple of names that are going to be out there. But right now, man, we're just riding high after a pretty damn fun draft. Very, very happy with that. And 2 seasons in after the expansion draft, Zoldia Levy rejects. 2 seasons in, we have really turned this team around quickly.